Okay, so I have been trying some different stain remover options here lately and just kind of wanted to share them with you guys. So I've tried the OxyClean, the All Oxy Laundry Booster for sensitive skin, and the Bunch of Farmer Stain Stick. Okay, I'm going to talk about OxyClean first. I don't like that this is something that's like the opposite of a natural product, but it is something that does work well, and I find that it works fast. Of all the different methods that I've tried, it is something that works the fastest for set-in or fresh stains. I basically with this will just take a container, put some of it in there, and then soak the pads before washing, and normally it will take everything out and there's no problem. Sometimes I've had some stubborn stuff that was still there after about an hour, hour and a half, and so then I will add a little bit of the booster and then usually everything's gone. I've never had with a little bit of the Oxy and a little bit of the booster together in a soak, I've never had a stain left. But the downside, I think, with this is that I feel like if you're using too much or you're doing this a lot very frequently, it can make the, oh my goodness, what's the word? It can cause the material to fade quicker, and that's just what I've found. And I tend to soak in a good amount of water, so I don't use a whole lot, but I do use a good amount. And I do find, but I don't find this by itself is so bad with fading. It is actually when I do mix this with it that I find that it fades, like the materials like the cotton, a little bit faster than they would normally with just washing. So that's definitely a downside to using that. The Bunch of Farmer Stain Stick, and let me show you what it looks like. And it's basically just a stick and you rub it. That's all I have left to this one. It smells pretty good. It is a more natural option to use on stains, and I really love this. It works on set-in stains, fresh stains, pretty much everything. If I have a fresh stain, it tends to work pretty fast. With a set-in stain, I have to wet the pad, put the stick on it, and let it sit, sometimes maybe even for a day or two before the stain will be lifted. And I can take the pad out of the bag once it has set with this on there, and the stain's completely gone. It's not even there anymore before I wash it. But I have found with even set-in stains, I can a lot of the times just wet the pad, rub the stick on there, let it sit for less than a half an hour, throw it in the washer, and it's usually good. I have had a few pads in the beginning where I had really bad set-in stains that I had washed over and over again and dried, and they were just very set-in, and that doing a couple applications of this and washing, I was able to get those stains out. So this is a product that I absolutely adore. It is my go-to stain remover for everything. I can use the booster by itself, or with any of these other ones, but I tend to only do that if I'm desperate or if I have a really stubborn stain. Like I said, there's something about this that tends to fade the fabrics faster. And the Zote. I have a pink bar. I'll kind of show you what this looks like. I have the paper all torn up. And it's a very, very soft soap, where the Bunch of Farmer Stain Stick is hard. Just holding it in my hands, it just mushes. So this tends to, and I have used this as a laundry soap as well. I find that this works really, really well on fresh stains. If I have just taken a pad off and I kind of wash it out and still have something left, I can take this and rub it on there, and it's gone almost immediately before my eyes. I find that it doesn't work so well on dried in stains. It's a lot harder. I can get them out, but it's just way too hard for me, really, when there's other options out there that work better. But if this is one of the only things you could find, it does work pretty well, and I would recommend it. It has an interesting kind of smell. I like the smell, but I do find it's very strong. Like when I use it for a detergent, I take this and shred it up, mix it with some baking soda and just a tad bit of the booster. And I do find that the smell of the soap is quite strong, and it does stick to my clothing or diapers or pads or whatever I am washing. So overall, I find that this is my favorite. It is the Bunch of Farmers Stain Stick. It is a more natural option, and it just works really well. For when I am just having trouble getting a stain out, or I just don't have the time to devote to it, Oxy is my favorite go-to, because I can just throw them in a soak, come back later, wash them, and they are good. And if nothing else is available to me, I will use the Zote, and it does work good. So it's not that I wouldn't use it, it's just that I have stuff that works better. But I definitely will continue to use this, especially when I run out of other stuff and can't get it, because like the Bunch of Farmers Stain Stick, I do have to order. There is nowhere around that I can buy it, unlike the Zote and the Oxy and the Oxy Booster. So what kind of stain removers do you guys like? What works best for you? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.